This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the actual card itself. WrestleMania is here. Your 14th on the show that night. The match that you had with Baron Corbin followed Triple H and Batista. Of course, Batista's making his farewell here as well. They give him 24 minutes and 43 seconds. It's been something I've noticed doing podcasts that Triple H usually has the longest match at WrestleMania. This one goes 24 minutes and 43 seconds. And you and Baron Corbin get 5 minutes and 51 seconds. How does that make you feel as a competitor? I mean, there's literally no one on this roster who's had the career you've had and done what you've done. And it's a farewell, just like it is for Batista, but he got Triple H in 25 minutes and you got Baron Corbin in 5:51. That has to.
Well, it does hurt. It does hurt. But like I said before, you understand your role in the company at the time. You understand the position of your match. They were a feature match, and if they wanted more time, they were going to get it. And obviously they were going to cut my time. That's just the way it is. And that's the way it will continue to be. I just, felt like with my status that I would be treated a little bit differently, but I understand. I mean, I did what I was told to do. I made my retirement match at WrestleMania. I did the honors by doing the job, and I put Baron Corbin over so that he could continue on to getting to the main event status. So I did my job, and that's all I can ask for.
Talk to me a little bit about the time being cut. This is something we're familiar with. Where, hey, we're running out of satellite time. We gotta trim some time here, or we're running out of TV time. This is already a 7-hour show. My response would be, who gives a shit? Make it 10 more minutes. What are we talking about? I understand we've only got 3 hours and then we lose the feed. It's 7 hours. What's 10 more minutes?
I think Vince had a limit. I think that he wanted to make sure the pay-per-view didn't go beyond 7 hours, but as long as it was 7 hours, he was going to make sure that he didn't want it to go 7 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, God.
So I don't know why. That it is ridiculous. But they have their rules, and I think that, they wanted to make sure it didn't go beyond 7. I know it was 7 hours. I waited almost the whole pay-per-view. It started at like 5 and didn't end till midnight. So it was a good 7 hours.
Did you have an idea, like because there's a call time, you have to get there at noon or 1 or whatever it was that day. And you're there and you're going to maybe eat some lunch and catch up with some guys. And then you've got to get ready for an athletic competition. I mean, you've got to stretch and you got to, get your gear on and you got to be ready to go. Do you have an idea how or what time you're going on? I mean, I know you're 14th, but are you able to forecast at noon or 1 or whatever time you get to the building? Dude, I'm going to be here 10 hours before I ever get in the ring.
Well, you get used to it. You do TVs every week, and
right.
It's run the same way. You get there at noon, you have lunch, you get your promos and pre-tapes, you start studying them. The producers come out of the meeting. They get with their wrestlers to go over their matches, structure their matches. That's in the afternoon. And then they start the show around 6 or 6:30, where they do dark matches, main event matches, and the main event TV show matches, and then Raw or SmackDown. So it's an ongoing schedule every week, and WrestleMania is no different, except for the fact that WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year.
Talk to me a little bit about your time being cut. We know you actually got 5:51. But I know when they time shows, they don't just count the bell-to-bell time. They include entrances and post-match and all that. When did you know, hey, we're getting our time cut? Or do you know how many minutes you had before? And roughly when were you told, hey, you gotta cut some stuff?
I don't know. I mean, they never said they cut anything. I think our match was planned for 10 minutes, including entrances.
Okay.
So the match might have been cut a minute,
Yeah.
So I think the only thing they cut out was part of the heat.
Right.
We had to go home a little bit early. So it didn't affect our match that much. It just, the part of the heat was the issue. And, once you stop a guy for heat, you only need to get 1 minute on him before they start their comeback. So it's not a big deal. And I think that Vince knew it wouldn't hurt my match to cut it a minute. So
who was your agent for that match? Do you recall?
Adam Pierce, I believe.
Okay. So do you get together with Adam and Baron and you guys sort of talk through the match, or are you just covering specific spots and a finish, or how are you laying that out with Adam and Baron?
Well, Adam came to me and said, "Hey, I need to know what you're comfortable with and what you're uncomfortable with. I know that, your body is struggling and, we want to get you through this." So I told him, "Listen, I'll structure the match and then I'll feed it to you and I'll let you know what we're doing. And then you could tell me if you like it or not." So that's what I did. I structured the match so that I was comfortable with what we were going to do in the match. I didn't do a lot in that match. And, I just, my body was shutting down. I gained weight. I just looked different. I performed differently. A small part of me, I was so excited to be at WrestleMania, but I couldn't wait for it to be over because I knew it wasn't a Kurt Angle performance that the fans expect to see. And it's disappointing because I wanted to perform at that level. I came back to WWE with the mindset that I was going to kick ass and take names and win world titles. A good example is Goldberg. He comes back and, he wins world titles and is in the main event at WrestleMania. I was hoping that the same would be for me, but it just didn't happen. So unfortunately, because my body was shutting down because of the inactivity of not wrestling, it was just really difficult for me to perform at that level anymore.
How was Baron with you before the match and after the match?
He was great, very professional, very kind, respectful. He was cool with doing whatever I wanted to do. He didn't care if I kicked his ass the whole match and he snuck a victory. He was just happy to be in the ring with me. And I thought that was really cool. I mean, I like the kid a lot. He's, I was glad to do the honors for him. He's very likable. I know as a fan, you don't like him because he's kind of an asshole, but
that's the idea.
Yeah. But he is a good kid. He's very smart and he knows the business really well. He's learned very quickly. And I think that, they started utilizing him after my WrestleMania match and he won the King of the Ring. And, he was in the title hunt for a couple of times. I'm not sure how they're doing with him right now, but the cool thing is he's available if and when they need him. And they're going to need him eventually. That we always do. Everybody gets injured and people have to step up.
Talk to me about the finish of the match. The bell rings. It's over. What are you feeling as you lay in the ring there?
Relieved. I was relieved it was over. I was a bit sad. Felt a little guilty about being relieved. I never felt that way about a match before. I always did my best and, I was very hard on myself all the time. This time I was real easy on myself. I was like, well, you don't have to do much. You can get through this match. As long as you get through it alive, you'll be fine. My mindset before that was, I don't care if I die as long as I have a great match. So, I felt guilty about that. I got a little emotional with the crowd. It was the last time I was going to hear the "You Suck" chants. And it was a really difficult situation for me. I was very emotional that night. My wife, knew that something was bothering me, and it was accepting that I was retired and not putting on the performance I wanted for my retirement. That was really hard.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.